All right, I think we're live.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Uh, Welcome everyone. Welcome Viju. We are back to the grind and we are back to the busy end of the season. As we wrapped up the league phase, I know there's one game which is still pending because of the rain washout, and I think there was a similar incident to the Indus Stingers game, which resulted in a rematch, which also got washed out. So now the last game needs to be played tomorrow between Avengers and which is the other team, Scorpions. So that should conclude the league phase. But more or less, I think the league phase is done. At least for Division One, we know our uh, playoff bound teams as well as those that didn't make the playoffs, and then also the teams that are going to be relegated to Division Two. So let's. I want to start off with sharing the points table, so we can talk a little bit about how the teams are stacked up, and especially I want to. One of the things that obviously has caught everyone's attention is two teams that have missed the playoffs: Indus Thunders and Stars. I think those are two big names which are almost a certainty before the start of the season. And Indus Thunders, especially Stars, have been always there and thereabouts, yet to win a title under Stars. They were former Falcons, so Harry has won a championship, but under Stars that hasn't happened. But Thunders was quite a bit of a surprise for me, not getting to the playoffs. They still managed to keep their position in Division One, but not coming through the playoffs is a huge surprise. And the Thunderbolts game, actually, the Thunderbolts win against Stars didn't help either one of the teams, because that was an upset which I guess most of us didn't predict. If that hadn't happened, I think things would have been much different. The Thunders would have probably made the cut on superior net run rate, and they could have still been in the playoffs. And once you're in the playoffs, no matter what, how bad the season has been, you never know what can happen. But apart from these, I think everyone else, I feel like maybe in the Group A, Dynamites was a uh, I wouldn't say a bit of a surprise, but them getting over MCC Miles, I would have predicted MCC Miles at the start of the season to get through the top six. But would you anything that really got got you surprised as well, apart from obviously the obvious Indus Thunders and Stars, but anything else you you see different this year?
Parthiv, good evening to everyone. But regarding your question, I honestly felt the six teams out of Pool A, I
Hmm.
expected all six of them to make it. I did not have any doubts on Dynamites making it because I know that Vijay will somehow, get somebody or the other. Miles was the surprise to me because Uh, considering the amount of talent they lost, Brahma going and
Mm,
Sanjay Langavan going and things like that, and only Rahul Chenna to the real big name power there. Everybody else, they're more than decent players, but not somebody I was thinking was going to compete with the other six. But I felt Miles played out of their mind, and I think Chenna deserves all the credit for getting his team to come and play really lights out cricket, especially towards the end of the season. Now, I honestly feel that those six teams, I expected them to be there. Uh, but again, I think if Glads had not lost to Titans, I think
mhm.
again Miles would have made it to the this thing because you would have seen both of them kind of being tied on points or Miles probably slightly ahead, kind of a thing. But anyways, I would say that the top six deserve to be there. So congrats to all of them. But yes, coming to Pool B, I think that's where it was the real
Mm,
shocker. I fully expected Stars to be there. I think with and Thunders. Um, Again, I think losing a game here or there really made a difference. Again, I
Yes.
think the Thunderbolts versus Stars game, I think, was winner take it all. If Stars had gone through that game, they would have they would have been easily there in the playoffs. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the game. Remember, one of our viewers on the last show, Parthiv, they told us that Stars are going to be without Ravi Teja and um, Shakar for this game. And
Right.
I think Shakar, I'm not surprised that did not play because his first priority was always leather ball. So,
Mm-hmm.
but considering that they went to great extents to make him qualify early in the season by having him play the first 3 games or 4 games or something like that and getting that qualification out of the way, really meant that, they were. In the driver's seat because if they had made the playoffs, I think as a number 16,
Mm-hmm.
whoever they were facing, I would have fancied their chances, especially if both Shakar and Ravi Teja play the game. So Shakar not playing, I was not surprised, but I think Ravi Teja not playing, I was really surprised, especially considering the magnitude of what lay on the line. And I fully expected um, who's this Hari to get anybody and everybody knowing that it was winner take all, and that's essentially meaning that playoffs started 1 week early for the Stars, and this is the same thing which Glads had last year. We had to win that game number 6 in order to get into the playoffs. If we won game 6, then we were qualified, no matter what happened elsewhere. But
Mm-hmm.
I felt Stars were in the same thing, and I felt last year we won that game, and then there was no looking back in the playoffs. Again, the first round, we almost lost to Legends. We had 9 wickets down, and we somehow managed to win that. And then I think from starting with the quarterfinal, we never looked back. I felt it was the same thing with Stars. If they could have somehow made the playoffs, they would have been a
Yep.
very, very difficult team to beat in the playoffs, especially if Teja and Shakar were playing all the playoff games. But that winner take all, and this is where I think Thunderbolts did the magic. Remember, they brought that Fahad Shah for the game. If you remember,
Yeah.
he played only 1 game, but
Right.
this 1 game, of course, the rumor is that he was paid $200 to play this game. Well, I do not know how much money was paid. If it was $200, I would say it is $200 well spent because he
Mm.
really came and delivered for the money. Because I remember his 5 overs, he took
Mhm.
gave only 5 runs and gave 4 wickets. You get my point?
Yep.
So he played lights out cricket in that 5 overs which he bowled. Now, this same Fahad Shah played for us last year, Parthiv. And
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, yeah. If you go and look at pull up his this thing, you'll see that we
Oh,
played
yeah.
him last year, and
Yeah,
so
that's so.
yeah. So again, I mean, it was he played only 1 game last year too, and again, I think it was one of those games where uh, we were running short of players, and we somehow managed him to come, and we
Mhm.
tried against KRCC. And in that game, he didn't pull up his stats in that game. He didn't bowl this good. You get my point? I mean, this was outstanding figures: 5 overs, 5 runs, and 4 wickets.
Yep.
But if you remember, see that 5 overs, 34 runs. So I was thinking, I mean, in 1 year, uh, his improvement was leaps and bounds kind of a thing. So um, last year he couldn't get the line right. I mean, we felt the talent was there, but in T-ball you have to get the line right. If you don't get the line right, batsmen are going to take you to the cleaners. So he
Mhm.
has the pace, but if he don't pitch it in the right places, then it's going to be a nightmare. But uh, this year he came and played, and that was the big difference. Parthiv, that 5 overs killed it.
Yep.
I mean, that really, um, if you ask me, made all the difference. And sure enough, Still 106, Parthiv, that was, you would have thought that that should have been a good score and things like that. But,
Yeah.
um, you know, all I can say is, you couldn't defend 106. Again, I would have, Ravi Teja doesn't bowl that much these days, especially with the injury and things like that. So I think they should have been able to defend 106. But again, give all the credit to Mithilesh. He opened the batting and in 54 balls, he scored that 48 runs. I mean, it was a fabulous, fabulous innings. Again, a game where Avi didn't play, but Uma Shankar came and played. So between those two guys, they got the job done. So between Fahd Shah and Mithilesh and Uma Shankar, I think that's where the game was won. And I do not know what else Stars could have done, but I think this was probably the biggest shocker and upset for me. I mean, I personally, if you had woken me from the sleep, I would have said that they would have been there in the playoffs. But um, so apparently, what I heard is that Mithilesh and Uma Shankar had a huge fight before the second innings started, and it was very ugly, is what I was told, Parthiv. And despite how bad it was, these two guys played in the middle together. And remember, you had a huge fight, and it was an ugly fight. And I have no idea what the fight was there. What was the fight all about? I haven't checked on what the fight was, but it was a big fight. That's what I was told. And uh, apparently, apparently, we are being told that we are going to get a video of the fight. I mean, this would be Parthiv next level. Parthiv, this would be next level. I mean,
Well,
that's all. That's all I can say. It would be next level if we are going to get a video of the fight. Then that is going to be next level. But this is all happening live, and this is what I'm being told. If that is the case, um, again the accusation, Parthav, this is what I'm being told. The accusation is Mithilesh accused Uma Shankar of not wanting to win the game, and that's why
hmm,
he didn't attempt to take the catch. So clearly, Uma Shankar missed a catch and or didn't attempt the catch, which Mithilesh felt he should have gone all out for the catch. I can
hmm.
understand emotions running high. Maybe we should pull up how Uma Shankar looks because I'm trying to now
I'm
trying
curious
to
now. This guy.
but yeah, just to get an idea of how he. I know how Mithilesh looks, but um, anyway, but anyway,
There he
Uma
is.
Shankar is a 6'4" guy. I think if Uma Shankar had given Mithilesh a good power
Nijo,
punch, I don't. What's that?
he is the guy hit a six against us.
Oh, now I remember. Now I remember. Okay, I got it. See,
Hmm.
that's how I remember people. When somebody hits a six against us,
But
I don't.
I have a question. So it's the news source says that he didn't want to attempt a catch. Why wouldn't he want to attempt a catch? Weren't they wanting to win? Like why weren't they
They
wanting to win?
Oh, well, but this is where I think I am with Uma Shankar. Sorry, not with Uma Shankar. I am with Mithilesh on this one. I mean,
Hmm.
if somebody on Glads didn't attempt it, and let's say it was Ravi Teja's wicket or somebody
Yeah.
important's wicket, if they didn't attempt it, I think I would go and have a word with them.
Oh,
I would have said, you really need to go for it. Now, if the player doesn't have the ability to get it, it's a different thing. But
right.
if it is somebody like Jeet or Satya or Anoop or Arjun, I would expect them to fully go and attempt it. Now, if somebody doesn't have the same degree of movement, all right, then I
Hmm.
probably would give them a pass because let's say on Glad's, if Hardeep didn't attempt it, I think I would give a pass because he doesn't have the same degree of level of movement that the others have. But the others, I expect them to go all out, and they are much faster guys, and they're capable of doing it. So I would expect them to fully attempt that shot. So I think all is good. I mean, again,
Mm.
Perception is different. Again, remember, if you're a 6'4" guy, there might be a feeling that, see, even if others may not be able to get it, this guy should be able to get it, especially if he's a speedy guy. Now, Umashankar clearly didn't feel that it was a catch or it was not even reasonable, and that it was not a catch and it was way too high and it was too far, is what we are being told. But whether is it too high or too far, but again, if it is too high, I think probably have a little bit of time to adjust for it. But again, it all depends on how far away the that
Yeah,
ball
yeah. I
is,
mean,
right?
it's all perception. Even on the
Yeah,
field, you
absolutely.
might
Yep.
angle from an angle you might feel that it's catchable, but it is when you're actually fielding, how far you are or how high it is. So, and emotions run high in this must-win
Oh,
game. So,
yeah, it's a must-win game, right? So, your skipper
yep,
has gone out and paid $200 and brought in a hired assassin to assassinate the opponent, and the
right,
assassin has done the job. And you feel that, hey, the entire season is on the line, and here is a chance. And
yep,
especially considering local boys won the championship in Division Two and came and have been sent back to Division Two, So
mm,
for Thunderbolts, it might be, some of the old hands would have said, hey, there is so much on the line. Why are we not even going for it and go all out for it, kind of a thing? I think I understand both sides of the thing. But again, I
yep,
think what happened on the field is what happened on the field. But I
yep,
think I like the fact that there was at least a fight.
mm,
I honestly feel that even if it is a fight within the teammates,
mm,
probably it also makes them want to, it shows that they really wanted to win the game. All right. So I don't make too much of it. I think, in fact, I look at it positively, that they wanted it that much, that at least Mithilesh wanted it that much. And then to go out and deliver, because it's one thing to accuse your teammate of not attempting to the catch, but if he got out in the first over for a duck or hardly tickling the scoreboard, then we would have said, it's all talk and all bluster and no, no abilities or nothing to get the job done. But then he
yep,
went out and put on a masterclass, won the game. And then, of course, Umashankar came and also had a fantastic game. And again, if I would have expected um, Santosh Reddy to have a fabulous game in this one. But these two guys, took away the game. So I think round one, they should be doing a good job, is what I feel. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think it's a fabulous achievement for Thunderbolts to get into the playoffs. So congratulations to them. We want to quickly move into the playoff games, but before I do that, want to congratulate all the playoff bound teams and to you and Satya as well to topping the table, number one ranked team overall with 49 points. Well, you
Well,
didn't get
Parthiv,
exactly what
I did not want the number one
I
team,
know
but
you wanted, but
now I feel a lot of burden and weight going into this thing. And this is the difference, I think, from last year to this year. Last year, playoffs started one week ahead for us, and well, we
Mhm.
were not the number one team. There was no expectations. There was no burden. We could go out and play the game. If we lost, we lost.
Right.
Anyway, we were being accused of being a Division Three team. So being a Division Three team and not playing good cricket and things like that, I felt we didn't have any expectations. And now the expectation business is going to be a
Oh,
problem
yeah,
on the back end.
absolutely. I think
But
you've got quite a lot of expectations and quite a lot of reputation on the line. Considering overall top defending champions, and I think this is a three-peat, right? You guys going for three-peat this year,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, we're going for three-peat, something
Okay.
very almost not achieved by anybody except for Megabytes.
Yeah, but, yep,
Megabytes have done four-peat in a row. And remember,
right.
Parthiv, this was the argument over which I have $100 from the great Vijay Shanmugam. Because he said no team has done three-peat. I said forget
Oh,
three. I said forget three-peat. Four-peat has been done. He's like, what are you talking about? Not a possibility. And of course, I knew my facts very well. And I also told him, hey, within that four-peat, there was even a perfect season. And
yes,
then he said, well, no. he took the bet with me, and of course, he lost the bet and he paid the bet. All right. Now, if he didn't pay the bet, the whole world would have known that Vijay Shanmugam took a bet and didn't pay up. So he knew better, better pay up. Simple as that. The Pied Piper has come calling, and you better pay up. But
Well,
anyway,
that's
I'm glad he paid up, because at least I wouldn't have respected him if he did not pay up, because you took a bet. A word
yep.
is a word, another word. Simple as that.
Right. So going into the playoff, I think based on what we always have, we have the top two teams from both the groups, which means Gladiators and GLCC, and Group B Fighters and KRCC getting a bye, which means they will directly go into the quarterfinals. And we'll look at the playoff chart as well to see who could they be playing next. But before we do that, let's go on to the playoff games and analyze them. Look at the win and loss records, one-on-one matchups. Ideally, would like to bring in some of the matchups that would be really interesting. I think that is something that always fascinates me as to what are the key players to watch, who against who, those kind of things, strengths and weakness. And I see KK is on as well. So we're going to get some more analysis and some more
Arthur,
uh,
before you went,
nuance.
I think at least we should cover Indus versus Stingers, right?
Oh, yes, that's a
Because
good call.
honestly speaking,
Hmm.
that game, Partha, if you ask me, it was not the ability of the Indus captain. It was
Hmm.
not the ability of anybody in the league.
Right.
Rather, it was the pressure which came from this primetime show that made that game happen. Now, I think
Absolutely.
more than the Indus captain, I think the two guys within the captain's group, I do not even know if KK is in the captain's group, but
Yes.
is you and KK, I mean, for really ramming home the point that, you guys, this thing. And I know that KK probably lost some friendships over it. With regards to me, I didn't lose any friendships. I mean, and people who know me also know that I wouldn't care too much about friendships which are based on such silly reasons. I mean, in the sense that I would feel that a friendship should be based on a much more deeper sounding basis rather than a silly thing over a game, right? I mean, if that is the case, then it's really not a friendship. But I think it
Right.
was relentless, non-stop pressure. And it was
Mhm.
calling out the committee members. We gave them hell, I'll tell you that much. But I
Yep.
also think, Partha, because that regame happened, all right, I mean, I can tell based on several uh, very authoritative sources who told me that Pandeti had either gone and seen a lawyer or was on the way to seeing a lawyer
Hmm.
to force a legal solution, all right? And
Hmm.
I am 100%, if Pandeti did that, I'm 100% in favor of that. Now,
Hmm.
I genuinely speaking, I do not like going the legal route, but
Yep.
I already remember telling Satya this. If the same situation had happened to Glads, I would have told Satya, file the case, I'll pay the foot, I'll foot the bill. I don't care, but nobody is taking me for a joyride here. If
Hmm.
I truly believe that this is genuinely be justice being denied, and you're just taking advantage of being so-called committee members, which many of them lost respect. I'm not talking about Gaba. I think people know that Gaba did a lot of things behind the scenes to make the game happen. His vote also people know. And here is the interesting: everybody knows who voted which way. You get my
Yep.
point? And so
Yep.
the thing is that um, and the guys who voted in the wrong direction really got a reaming for it, especially in private circles, especially in the water cooler talk, in WhatsApp texts, and making they got a real reaming in this thing for taking a wrong decision. And I think in this we are told right from the beginning that the right approach would be to just call it a regame. And at least the good thing is because of that Indus Thunders, this thing you are seeing a regame happening in the Stingers versus the Scorpions versus Avengers game. All right,
Mm.
but I am very proud of you and KK for actually uh, uh, you know for standing up for your principles, and especially for to KK, I'm proud of it that despite some friendships, because remember. There was the conflict of interest accusation, which Gopu brought up on this thing. But I had also told about the conflict of interest, and clearly everybody who was neutral could see that there is definitely a conflict of interest. I do not know. You have to live under a rock to believe that there was no conflict of interest. But
Mhm.
all these things were clearly out in the open. But I appreciate principled guys who will not compromise, come what may. And privately, I've got texts from the Indus management and Indus
Yep.
players
Yep.
for keeping that thing alive. And that's what. And
Yep.
when I backed off, Parthiv, the only time I backed off was once Pandeti sent a message that guys, I have it, we have it under control. In let's not this thing. That's when I backed off because at that point I said, okay, now you have it, it's all
Right.
yours. I mean, I'm not saying one more word on this thing.
Correct.
But now that the game has happened, there was much on the line. And if you look at it, you'll find that Stingers bought three uncapped players. When I say uncapped, they had not played DCL before. Farzan's Raja, he did nothing, but he got run out, so you can't really be Gurpreet Singh. And one other person, I took.
Shaiwas Irfan. Is that
Yeah,
the one?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the person.
Yep.
And when I saw the playing 12, I said, okay, these are three people I've never heard of before. Hopefully they can come. But we also know, based on the dynamites, this thing that some of these are international players. They come on T-ball the very first game. They can't really get
Yeah,
the
it's,
job
it's
done.
very hard to kind of. I mean, even I keep telling everyone, even Sachin Tendulkar, if he comes and plays DCL, he's going to
Yeah,
struggle because his
yeah.
ball, the surface, everything is so different.
Exactly. And so that's pretty much, you'll find that these three guys, Gurpreet did play well, but again, the thing is, when you look at the lopsided result, it was not even close. Yeah, we are not even talking about bonus. We are not even talking about double bonus,
Yep.
but probably triple bonus is how Indus won the game. I mean, Indus will probably take a lot of satisfaction in the fact that with so much on the line, they played only with their players. They didn't bring
Right.
any fresh talent, but clearly, and I do not know how much was paid for any of these guys if there was a monetary transaction. But clearly, there was much on the line, and there was, I guess, more than much on the line. It was pride on the line, and
Yep.
but at the end of the day, Stingers are going back to Division Two. Indus at least avoided the relegation. Obviously. Uh, Again, they would have been ahead on the net run rate, Parthiv. They would have made it if net run rate was the number one factor. But clearly, it was number of wins, which I knew, and some of us knew it. But most people thought it was net run rate, and they were assuming that Indus would have been in. But I
Right.
think when I said it, that Thunderbolts probably lost a chance. I did not realize that they had taken off the game, but that 1 point which was
Yeah.
awarded to Indus for that Indus versus Stingers game still remained in that account.
Right.
They took the 4 points away from Stingers, but then you have to, if you're getting rid of a game, then if you
Yeah.
gave 1 point to Indus, you have to take that away. But the moment
Right.
that went out of the equation, and I think Vicky brought up that question, hey, that 1 point is still there in with
Right.
Indus. At that point, I immediately realized that okay, now at this point, it is only a question for Thunderbolts to just win the game. You don't have to
Yep.
win with bonus or anything like that. Just win it, and you're through.
Yep, it was a great victory. I mean, looking at the scorecard, obviously they batted really well. They brought in all the big guns. Seeing Praveen Bangera score those quick 42 of 21 really put that start and the intent of what it meant to for Indus Thunders to win this game. I mean, he started from the get go to really put the pressure on Stingers. And to be honest, I mean, just what you said. I've got multiple texts as well from Thunders, uh, from people who have been following this conversation as well, and appreciation, and just basically that the right thing was done. But I also want to uh, say that these things do happen, but I think what we need to do is make sure that this doesn't set the wrong precedence of a rematch being done every single time something like this happens. So I think the committee needs to look at that rules, some of these rules, and look at some of these things where matches are awarded or points are awarded, and try to kind of find alternative penalties or things of that nature which do not impact the result of the game. And if the result of the game, or if something needs to be done, the game should be stopped right away. I mean, you cannot have a game continue and then take the result away from a team. So I think that those kinds of things need to be looked at off season to amend some of these rules as well, because otherwise, we don't want these rematches happening every time a team plays under protest.
Yeah,
So
I
No,
agree. I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
go ahead.
Parthiv and Vijay, I don't want to talk about what happened in this game, but
mhm,
for some of our listeners, when we say there is a conflict of interest, uh,
mhm.
one of the question was, hey, the decision was made 2 months before it. That's not how a conflict of interest works,
Right.
because if you are participating in a voting could potentially influence the judgment or decision making, then it is called conflict of interest, irrespective of where your team stands or
Right.
where the other team stands. That would not come into picture, because there is something called as perception of bias. To put it very simply, there, if my brother is playing in a game, no matter if I do the umpiring with 100% integrity, even then there is a perception of bias within the community that, hey, of course he is going to favor his brother's team. So
Yep.
that is called as a perception of bias, and that is what the conflict of interest is.
That's
And the
perfectly
interesting
said.
thing, KK, is if Vamsi Tulsi was the person in the representing FCC in the committee,
Mhm.
I'll take you back to a time where Vamsi Tulsi and I were in the committee at the same time. I know 100% Vamsi Tulsi will not vote because there is a conflict of interest. Because you would have said, well, I cannot vote because even though my team is not involved, yet the benefit of this is coming to my team. So clearly, I do not want to vote. I'll give you an example, Partha. There was a situation which involved us as committee members making a decision which ended up, I don't know, costing the league about maybe I want to say about $100 or $150. And I remember Vamsi Tulsi and me standing firm and saying, that is a committee mistake. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It is a mistake by the committee, and we should pay for it, not the league should pay for it. Because
Mhm.
that should teach us a lesson that we should never make a mistake. So
Right.
uh, that is the level of integrity which Vamsi Tulsi had, in the sense that, he remember, Parthiv, this is an unpaid position. All right.
Yeah.
You're doing it, saying that I want to make the league better and I'm doing it in the best interest of the league.
Right.
Now there is a decision which happened, and the league lost money, whether it was 100 or 150, and we felt the committee members should pay for it from our own pocket. Now we had differences of opinion. There was one side which felt that, see, hey, this is an unpaid this thing. It's not that we deliberately made the mistake, which I agree it was not. But who bore the fault on it? It was the
Yep.
committee members. All right. So I honestly felt that I should pay out of my pocket. How much ever is my share, it should come out of my pocket. Vamsi felt the same way. So the thing is, that's why I'm saying that, that's the level of integrity which he brought into the
Mhm.
committee, which is why I am hoping that at least this year or next year, that he should be given the Lifetime Achievement Award, because he has done a lot of job, fantastic job for DCL in the years which he was there, and I think this year he has played and qualified also. But the point is that he deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award, because I know with what integrity he worked, and He was an asset to the league, not just to the team FCC. But I think that was the big difference between Vamsi Tulsi and the present members on this committee. That's where I think the
I mean,
conflict of interest issues comes. Yeah,
Vijay,
go
thanks
ahead.
for bringing it. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. I did my debut under Vamsi's leadership in FCC,
Yeah.
and one of my friends from FCC asked me this question when all this Indus versus Stingers issue was going on. Hey, would you have raised the same tone if Vamsi was in the committee? I said that if Vamsi was in the committee, he would have not voted. That
Well,
was
Mhm.
exactly
you
the mistake.
Well, you just repeated what I just told you. I mean, I
Mhm.
know Vamsi that well that I know that he wouldn't have voted. Simple as that, because it's just that perception of bias, sorry, KK, and that makes a world of difference. So when you're in the committee, and especially when you have two members from FCC and probably one more person who's closely associated or whatever, it creates a real issue down there. So it's very
And
important to. Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead,
Yep.
KK.
And to the listeners, only one vote was from FCC, and that was in favor of Indus.
Yeah.
So they did not go against Indus, but still that vote should not have happened. That
Mhm.
is where, because that was never out in the open. Even now, it is not out in the open. But I know.
Okay.
Well, we will never really know. But anyways, the match happened. I think justice prevailed, and Indus won. I think we have talked about this issue long enough. I want to go into the playoffs because I think that's what I think our listeners are waiting to hear our analysis and our favorites in the two teams. So let me go to the playoffs, which are scheduled for Division One, and then we can go to the playoff bracket. So let's do the matchups first, if you guys agree, and then go into uh, the draft. Uh, this website needs to be made better. Somehow there's too many filters. All right. I think I'm on the right tab now. Okay, so let's start off. I think we've talked about bolts enough, but maybe I can go down and start with the fourth game, which I want to spend time a little more. I think Dynamites versus Raptors. Let's start with that. So yes, how about you guys pick a team, and I would love to know, one way or the other, the strengths and weakness of both the teams. So, do you guys have any preference on which teams you would probably have a little more information that you can talk more about Raptors versus Dynamites?
Not really, Partha. I think we both. I think we should talk based on our own individual perceptions, because I think at this point all of us know exactly where everybody else stands, kind of a thing. So uh,
Let's let's talk about, let's start off with, who are the heavy favorites here? Dynamite versus Raptors. Who do you think has the edge?
for me, Raptors has the edge. I mean, for the simple reason that. Partha, they almost took one of the top two spots, right? They
Mhm.
did everything within their power to ensure that they were there. All right. So uh, also, if you really look at it, I do not know, Partha, if you have to see that last game where Kiran Boinapolli put on a masterclass of a batting. Partha, I
Right.
saw that live as it happened. Somebody had sent me a link. And I'm telling you, Partha, there was a one over in which he hit five consecutive twos, all on the
Mhm.
offside. Now, remember, long time back, there was a very high profile team where he did not even make it into the playing 11 or
Mhm.
playing 12. And yet, right now, he's the skipper of Raptors, and he chased that total down and got the bonus in order to get one of the top two spots. But because KRCC won their game with bonus, the
Mhm.
question then was made moot at that point of time. So the thing is that KRCC and Fighters got the top 2 spots, but they missed one of the top 2 spots only by 1 point. And if you look at his, you look at the top 3, Krishna, Kiran, and Botta. Now, here is the other thing. I was told, I do not know if this is true or false, that Pradeep Botta is not going to be there in the playoffs because
Yep.
apparently he's gone to India or something like that. So you
No,
heard the same thing?
yes, he's moved to North Carolina from what I know. So recently there has been quite a few shuffle and move because of Mercedes Benz moving out of the Farmington Hills area. So a lot of people have been relocated or offered relocation, and I think, if I'm not wrong, Porta has taken that relocation. So he's moved to North Carolina from what I know.
But
Cannot
knowing Botta, he would have still come and played the game. You get
he
my
might
point?
yeah he
But
might come.
but what I was told was, he might be going to India or something like that. Now, whether I got the facts mixed up or not, I do not know. Again, remember, a lot of
Mhm.
information comes in, and all we can say is that's the rumor out there. Whether true or false, I do not know. But if he is not going to be there, now that is a monumental change, if you ask me. But if you look at it, Parthav, go all the way up to 1 through 10, you will find that they have all played at least 6 games, you see. So,
Right.
and, they have really, really played very well. And I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. Now, if Botta is not there, and I know
Mhm.
that probably Dynamites will definitely get 3 of their star players or the international talent to come and play. But the guy who they probably really, really need is Norman Anwar. And I know that Norman Anwar qualified, but then my feeling is Norman Anwar probably doesn't play. But then the thing is that, Parthu, I'm getting live update that, that Botta is in India. That's what I've just been told, that Botta is in India. I don't want to reveal the source, but Botta is in India. So whatever I heard was this thing, but his move to North Carolina has not been confirmed yet. That's what
Okay.
I heard. All right, that's the news. At least we
All
thank the
right. So we
listener.
have
We
confirmation.
thank the live listener who confirmed this. All right. So
Okay.
just out of not to ruffle friendships, I'm not revealing the name, but you got the point. You get my point. But if Botta is in India, now the question is, does Dynamite? I mean, obviously now Dynamites should be fancying their chances, but probably
Right.
Dynamites did not know this before. But now, Vijay is an avid listener of the show, even though he's in the committee. So he's an avid listener of the show. He follows each and every uh, jot and tittle and comma, and he dots the I's and crosses the T's. So he'll be very happy that Botta is not there, but he still has to get the job done. Let's ask KK what's his thought on this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to confirm when I got a chance that Vata went to India. I
Okay,
knew about it.
okay,
We spoke about it in one of our discussions. Uh, because potentially Dynamites or Raptors would be one of our opponents in the
okay.
Mhm.
quarterfinals.
Oh, so you
Right.
were you were doing balle balle when you heard that Botta is going to India. All right, I got it. Of course, you probably did not know that he is going to be one of your opponents at that point of time. So no conflict of interest there.
Yeah, see, KRCC playing FCC was the only game that was left out. And
Yeah.
even before the Fighters versus Raptors game, Raptors were well positioned at number 3. So it is going to be, after our Stingers game, it was clear that it will be 90% it will be Raptors versus
Okay.
Dynamites, one of them, right? So, yep. But it's good thing he's not playing, one less headache to worry about. But now,
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing, even Dynamites guys would be thinking the same. But now, where Dynamites might have an edge is the surprise element. Are they going to have Norman Anwar or not? I
I don't think so, KK.
I
I
think
don't
the
think
minor league started.
minor league started, so I don't think now
Yeah.
Norman Anwar is going to be there. All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So since he's there in the country just to play minor league, I don't think DCL with all its the primetime show and all the publicity which goes on, even with all that, I don't think Norman Anwar is leaving that major league game and coming and playing DCL this coming Saturday.
Right. Even without Pradeep Bota, I think Raptors are pretty strong, and with the inclusion of the hitman guys, I think they definitely have the bench strength. Yes, they'll miss Pradeep Bota definitely playoffs, but I think again, especially this game, I think they still have the edge over Dynamites, and considering that Noman is not there, then definitely adds more to that edge as well. But I think Dynamite rely a lot on those three Pakistani players. Mohammad Ghaznfar, Hassan, and
No,
then
he's a Hong
the
Kong player. He's a Hong
oh
Kong
Hong Kong.
ex-international player.
Oh, which one?
Mohammad
Hassan?
Uh,
Ghazanfar.
the
Ghaznfar.
Mohammad
spinner.
Okay.
Ghaz- yeah, the Mohammad Ghazanfar. Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, Partha, but I don't think any of those three players probably can send shivers down the spine as much as Nauman Anwar can send
mhm,
shivers down the spine. In leather ball, Nauman Anwar can take over the game in no time. And
mhm,
until he's out, the game is very much on, and he can take the game
right.
away from you in a heartbeat. I mean,
Mhm,
very, very high strike rate and uh, just on top. He hasn't done the same thing in DCL, but I think
mhm,
considering that he has at least played 4 games this year, if I'm not mistaken, he's
mhm.
getting a hang of things. So, uh, who knows? He could have taken the game away from the opponent, you see. So,
So,
but at,
let me ask another question. So, the team that wins the toss, I mean, is there like between the two sides, do you think one prefers batting or bowling versus the other? Is there a definite plan for Raptors or Dynamites to go forward against
I
each
think
other?
Dynamites might prefer to bat first, and Raptors would prefer to chase. That is what, at least,
Hmm.
I think.
my
Yeah,
feeling is it wouldn't matter for Raptors. They have been
hmm,
very comfortable, playing batting or bowling because when I saw how well they batted against fighters, what it told me is until you can get Kiran Boynapalli out, and if Kiran is in that
hmm,
kind of form, that is insane. I mean, you
hmm,
really have to see that masterclass, Parthiv. I did not know that. I know he can bat well, but I didn't expect him to bat that well. Let me put it that way. When I saw those
hmm,
5 consecutive 2s, and it was like Parthiv, there was a case where I think that after the third 2 or something, Mahinder Burreddy comes down charging, trying to look at him and trying to ruffle him. And have you seen Viv Richards bat? And
yep,
disdainfully dismiss this thing and just turns around, chews his gums, and walks off, kind of a thing, and goes back to this thing. It's like, hey, you know how the
hmm,
ball looks, now go and fetch it, kind of a thing. Don't tell me
hmm,
about the ball, go and fetch it. He didn't say anything, but it was that kind of a disdainful dismissal of the ball. I
hmm,
mean, it was not a bad ball by any stretch of the imagination. You might think that Mahendra Burreddy bowled 5 bad balls. No, some of them were very good balls, but the result was the same. It was just disdainfully dismissed out of the presence of the great batsman that our friend Kiran Boynapalli has become. But it's going to be very, very interesting. And again, I've been told that even if Nauman Anwar was in Michigan, he would have been playing the F40 finals for Nirvana this Saturday. I do know
hmm,
that he plays, I mean, um, my friend Arjun Ajbani asked me long time back, hey, when is the DCL playoff starting? Because the, he
hmm,
knew that he was going to be in the F40 finals as well. So that was another reason why we wanted to win that last game, so that we can avoid that, get that bye week in,
hmm,
So a lot
yep.
of things going on, but I don't think Nirvana needs Norman Anwar. They can win that F40 finals without Norman Anwar, but they probably are the overwhelming favorites down there.
All right. So looks like between Raptors and Dynamites, I think all of three of us feel the Raptors have the edge. It's going to be
Yes.
it's a pre-quarter, so it's always going to be a close contest. But I I think we all agree that the Raptors should be able to get through this contest.
I'm very sure if Dynamites beat Raptors, Vijay Shanmugam will be on every possible radio show. I mean, because he'll say that
Well, I know.
the whole world did not give us a chance. But you know what, guys? We have the brains and we know how to figure things out, and we figured it out.
Yeah,
But
and I know
again,
talking to talk.
yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, I was saying, talking to him every once in a while, I think he likes it, and he's got into this habit of the underdog, being the underdog, and proving the analysts, proving the people who have suggested or have got the other way wrong throughout. So if you look at his Facebook post as well, he's always talking about how Dynamites have uh, kind of proved everyone wrong, things of that nature. So I think he's got into that habit, and I think that is working. I mean, if being underdog and not having that pressure works for him, you know, it might be that Vijay doesn't mind it. I mean, the analysts voting against him.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right,
congrats to both teams for making it into the playoffs, and good luck. And I hope the better team wins.
absolutely. Let's go on to the next game. I wish Gabaji was here because I would love to know what his preparation is. He's at a practice. I don't know if he is able to join. But let's go on to Titans versus Knockers. Now, this is going to be an interesting. I think Titans. Obviously, my opinion is, this year wasn't the same year as last year. Last year they had a fabulous season, topping the table. This year, I think they until the last game it could have gone either way. Yes, they won against Hawks, but they really had to, work themselves through the playoffs. It wasn't an easy road and Knockers coming back from a hiatus, so that's going to be a totally different dimension. I mean, yes, Knockers in the past have been, really a team to beat. So this contest, I think it's going to be a battle of the bowling. Which team bowls well is probably going to win, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd love to know from you guys. How do you guys see this game going?
Let's ask our expert KK if he knows if anybody is not going to be playing this game. Because
Good
again,
to
part
answer.
of whatever information I have is sitting from 10,000 miles away, right? I mean, sure, I
Yeah,
got the the
I,
Pradeep Botta
I can bet.
information right.
Yeah, I can bet on Titans. I don't think anybody is gonna not be available unless there is some injury or anything. Because I think most of them are local. They play all of them together. So if someone is missing, then everyone is going to be missing if they have a game. Like they pretty much play all of the tournaments together, leather ball, t-ball, everything. So I'll be very surprised if anybody is missing from the Titans unit. But Knockers, yes, love to know if there's any surprises on the Knocker side. KK, any insider news there?
No, I think all the players will be available.
Okay.
All right, so KK, then the question then becomes, how do you see this matchup happening?
I mean, for a moment, I want to start by saying Titans have not performed this way they wanted to at the beginning of the season, right? And that is why they are in this precarious position where I think among all the teams, right, that are playing the playoffs, Titans have the toughest path in case they have to get to the finals.
I agree with you
Because
100%. They have the toughest path to the playoffs. This is the same thing which Glatz faced last year, so they probably might want to take a page out of the Glatz handbook that, hey, coming into the playoffs, I mean, last year we were in the toughest side of the draw, and it was a nightmare kind of a thing to go through. It was Legends first, then we had to beat Indus. Then after that, we got Stars in the finals, and who did we beat in the semis? But it was another very good team in the semis. But
oh my God, you forgot the manhandler incident.
oh yes, we're GLCC in the semis. See, so the thing is, that's murderer's row, if you ask me. I mean, any one of those teams could have taken us out. So the thing was that you couldn't. So going into the finals, we felt very confident because we had already faced three of top-notch teams and beaten them. You see, so I feel well, if Titans has to win a championships this year, as KK said, this is the toughest part. It's going to be a nightmare to go through because they'll have to beat Glads, they'll have to beat KRCC, and then whoever comes to the finals, whether it is GLCC or Fighters or whoever it is, but whoever is there
But
in the finals is not
also,
going to be a cup. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
yeah, also they are in the number 5 position in the table. But
Yeah.
if you look at the results closely, they've beaten 3 of those 4 teams which are above them. That includes Gladiators, SLCC Legends, and GLCC. So they are coming good in the big games, but not in the other ones. So maybe, when the playoffs start, there is still hope that they'll pull up their sleeves and say, hey, we'll get it done.
Correct. And you're spot on. I think some of the games they've lost are against the lowly ranked teams. Like they lost against Stingers. That was an upset. I think they lost against MCC Miles. That was another one which I think they should have won. So yes, they've been beating some of the top ranked teams, but lower ranked teams is where they are letting the foot off the pedal. So yes, every chance that it might be a tough road ahead, but it might be that Titans are probably better off playing bigger teams rather than the lower ranked teams.
And
The
it
other thing,
reminds me of a familiar story of strikers losing to the
Yes.
lower ranked teams and beating the top teams. Sorry, Vijay, go ahead. Can't resist that.
no. You said it the opposite way, KK. You said strikers were losing to the lower ranked teams, and
No, beating the higher ranked teams, like we beat.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he said that losing to the higher ranked teams, but I think
No,
strikers
winning
were
against the higher
beating,
ranked teams.
yeah, winning against the higher ranked teams. But
Higher ranked
again,
teams. Yeah.
strikers, their problem was they needed more consistency. There was no consistency this year.
Yep.
But coming to this game, KK, I mean, I think one thing working in favor of Gaba and company is the fact that it is not anymore just Praveen Dige, but Gaba himself has shown some signs of life. It's like somebody did a resuscitation surgery on him, or took some shocker and shocked his heart, and he has suddenly shown a pulse. And so at least he is now in the runs. Kalyan Tanjavaru is also in the runs, kind of a thing. So I mean, I think. They have at least 2 or 3 people who are now finally showing some signs of life. So maybe they will come through. But here is the problem for Titans. Parthiv, last year they went in as the number 1 seed. And guess who they ran into in the first round? They ran into Stars. Stars came in as number 4, and Titans had the bye. And it was Deepak Giriappa, the man who destroyed them. All right. Guess who they play again this year? They play Deepak Giriappa again. And I would fancy Deepak Giriappa's chances in this game. And I think if there was one team which probably Titans did not want to play, it would have been Deepak Giriappa and company, because I think they have to be very wary of it. And here is the thing. I mean, if our Captain Titan wanted to shield DG and say that, okay, I don't want DG to face Deepak Giriappa, Arun Lav Kumar has already shown his hand. Remember, against Ravi Teja and Stars, he held Giriappa. Giriappa opens the bowling every other game, but in the Stars game, he held him back until Teja came to bat. And the moment Teja came to bat, very next over, Deepak came into the attack. And sure enough, Deepak got the better of Teja. Right? So that was the game. So my feeling is, at this point in this chess game, and I know our friend Gaba likes to play a little bit of chess on the cricket field, Arun Lav Kumar has also showed that he's also capable of playing chess, and he's going to hold his star bowler back until Mr. DK comes into the this thing. But I think DK has opened pretty much the entire this thing. I don't think he should change at this point, knowing that they are going to anyway hold Deepak back no matter what. He might want to handle this head on, and I think the last couple of games he has been very circumspect. He's been watching the ball and not bothering too much about the strike rate, realizing that he needs to be there in the middle. So he probably will see a very very careful innings from DK. But I still feel DCL is a bowler's game, so I still would give the edge to Deepak and company.
Yep. I
I
think it's
put my
definitely going to
money
be good. Sorry,
I would put my money on Samita to get
Samita. Oh, okay.
DK's wicket and Deepak.
Okay. All right.
Definitely, I think the matchup.
Let's take this thing and see who's right on the next game. Who gets his wicket? Of course, if neither of them got the wicket, then it's a draw. Fair enough, KK.
Fair enough. We played Titans last year, and the best wicket taking opportunities were provided by Samita. I think three of them.
I think one of the things is going to be very crucial is not only just the DK's wicket, but also making sure that Titans get a good score. Because I think if you look at their bowling, and I'll open up the bowling stats, they have like all the bowlers have been contributing. They have 5 bowlers with more than 10 wickets. Now that's a very good stat for a captain to have, and especially you have Praveen Dige, I mean, with bat and ball topping the charts. So he is definitely the key to Titans, with the bat and the ball. But you have Kalyan, you have Ronnie, you have Parag. I think with
But
Indo, I
Parthiv,
think they
I'm
have
not,
the
I'm not sure how much to make of your analysis when those 5 bowlers are pretty much the guys who are bowling every game, and
that's true. And I
and
think they don't need
Gaba
anyone.
and Gaba in an entire season has bowled only 15 overs. You get my point. In 12 games, you have bowled 15 overs. That means you're bowling what? 1 over, 1.5 over a game. That's the average. So obviously those 5 guys have to pick the wickets. Which other way do you
No,
think
I
it would
mean,
happen?
Gabaji, I don't know whether he's underbowling himself or he's carrying an injury or something, but yes, definitely he's underbowling himself. But I think he definitely trusts a lot on these 5 bowlers. And these 5 bowlers, if you look at even their past records, they have proven records. So I wouldn't bet against just for the sake of giving them, once in a while, I think they could have a bad day. I think Parag has had a bad day every now and then in these couple of matches. But I would still go with the tried and tested. These 5 bowlers have been tried and tested, and that's why I feel key. If Titans bat score 90 or 85, 90, 100 runs in that range, 80 to 95, I think they could get this game. I think the key for them is to bat and to get the runs on the board. And if they're bowling first, then obviously they would want to get the team out under 50, 60 as much as possible because they can do a wipe off job very, very fast. I mean, you could see the way the collapse that, what is that? The game that they actually, uh, was it I forget. Yeah, Gladiators, right? The one that they actually, from 40 for 1 or 40 for 2, and then they got you guys out at 65. So, yeah, they definitely can defend as well. So, I feel that's going to be the key, Titans bowling. But on knocker side, I would love to know what knockers have to do to get the best of Titans.
On knocker side, I'm looking at their batting statistics.
Mm,
Almost all the batsmen are playing with a similar strike rate, right? 50s,
mm,
60s. And, the guy who is striking for them the highest is Deepak himself. All the other
mm,
batsmen are scoring in 60s and 70s, 60s and 50s, right? So they are
mm,
very comfortable chasing those 80s, 85s. In this
right.
year's league, if you see, they're very comfortable chasing 80s and 85s because they are not
Mm,
taking risks. They have Ganesh, they have Rohit Chandke, they're playing well, and then Prabhu himself is doing good, Arun is doing good, then Deepak. So they have the experience, they have the calm head, they can chase down those 3 runs, 3.5 runs. But if I have to say something to Titans, if they bat first, they need to put north of 100. That will put that extra pressure to score more than 4 runs and over. That's where these guys have to go out of their comfort zone and score at a higher pace.
Right.
Yeah, but
And
KK, it's a playoff game, and if you aim too high, also you could be in trouble, especially
right.
when the batting is not too deep. You see,
I would say it
so
again with you. This year, the ball is traveling like crazy. You give me a Michigan Cup ball, you give me a DCL ball, I'll hold them. You mix it up and give it to me, I'll tell you which one is the DCL ball. Half shots will go for sixers.
That's true, but I think come playoffs, I think you're going to face some of the better bowlers. So it's not going to be I mean, five good bowlers, I think. So that, I mean, yes, the ball travels, but then you also have great bowling to face again. So I think that's where, and the pressure of the playoffs. So typically, historically, most of the playoffs have been in that 80, 90, under 100 kind of zone,
Mhm.
unless someone has a really good game. I mean, someone like Tamim Oni when he got the better of us, that those kind of things happen. But generally, when two equal teams are playing, especially in playoffs, I think, chances are it's going to be a tight 80, 90, 100 game. So, yes, but to your point, if they score 100 plus, yes, they definitely will put pressure. But again, like with you and you said, the key is Deepak VFI. If they can tame Deepak, based on the stats, I would say Titans have got the game. Don't give him
Yeah,
the
I'll be
game.
watching this week's playoffs very closely. I want to see how the scores will be.
Yep. All right. Any more things to add? Should we go on to the next game?
is it safe to say that whoever wins the toss bats first in this game, Titans versus Knockers?
Yes. I
That's what
would
I feel.
yes, I would highly say that's the outcome most captains in these two, between these two teams would be doing.
Yeah,
Both have
I
good
mean,
bowling attacks
I
to
think in the
defend.
Dynamites game, I think Dynamites probably will bat first if they win the toss. But
Mhm.
I don't think it matters for uh, Raptors whether they bat or chase. But they're quite good at both, so they wouldn't care too much. But in this game, I feel that whoever wins the toss will bat first.
All right, and both these games are at NPP 2 and 4. So NPP, I don't know how that those stats. I think generally NPP scores haven't been that high typically. So that is also one of the considerations to think about as compared to some of the DSP and the Keith one or the West Bloomfield one. So West Bloomfield ones are probably at a slightly higher scoring rate as compared to the Norway ones.
Is
All
any
right,
game
let's go on
happening
to
in Is any game happening in Woodhaven?
no,
Okay.
none
No,
of the games. Yeah, all of the games are Norway and West Bloomfield. All right, let's go on to the next game. That's Legends SSSC Legends versus Pokries. All right. I mean, I've always been a good Pokries fan. I feel, they definitely deserve a championship. So I'm going to be biased and I'm going to side on Pokries until they win the championship, which I think is going to happen. They just need to have a run of luck to, at the finals. But this game, I think it's another game where I feel Legends have the edge, but Pokris, with their experience, I think they bring a lot to the table. That's my guess. But if I had to choose from the brain, I think Legends are heavy favorites here.
is
What do
Amar
you
going
how
to
do you
play?
guys feel? Aman, okay, that is a
Is
good
Amar going to
question. Is
play? Is
Aman
my
going?
question.
Let's ask the audience who's listening. I know we have some sources who have some insider information, so let's wait and see if Viju gets a text, or I get a text, or you get a text.
Is Amar going to
No
play?
idea.
Is it? I do not know. So far, I haven't
Hmm.
gotten any information.
Hmm.
But even if Amar plays, don't you think Pokeries have the edge in this game, KK?
Really? You guys feel the Pokeries have the edge?
Can you go back to the either the that PDF where we can take a look at it, or
Sure. Wait.
well, our source who has been confirming everything, I got two informations. One is that yes, he is going to be here. Amar is going to be here. So,
I want to check his credit card statement.
all right. Whoever is the source, source KK, he has been very accurate. So, and here is the thing: I got the text from two people. All right. So I'm very confident, knowing the character of those individuals. One of them I don't know him that well, but nevertheless, he has been spot on with regards to his regards to the information he's been giving. I would vouch the character of the other person, even in my sleep. So both of them have told the same thing, that Amar is going to be here. So now let's take that into account, and then tell me. Well, I am very sure that Prasanna Venkatesh will be playing for Pokeries. So I think that's going to be a cracker of game. If you ask me, this is probably the best game in the playoffs this week, at least. Very evenly
let me
matched
ask
game.
Let me ask
Legends
you,
will
why
have
do you
a-
think Legends? Sorry, I
So,
was going to ask, why do you think Pokeries?
I mean, is KK picking Legends? Legends is the higher ranked team.
I'm not worried about the rank when it comes to playoffs.
Okay.
Never worried about the rank. It's all about how are they going to pick their 12 for this game. That is what is the most important question.
Okay.
Because are they going to?
Are you able to pull up that this thing, Parthiv, where we can see the? Let's try to identify the possible 12 for both teams. All right.
Okay.
This is prime time analysis of who we think is going to be in the playoff
Mhm.
12. Now, what they do, that's based upon availability and skippers' own or management's own decision as to what they think. So, are we going with Pokeries first?
Yeah, let's see. All right. I'm counting. You guys go. So Arvind Sabresh, does he make it?
Now go to the ranking section, the last section. Go to the last
Okay.
section. It says ranking. It'll tell
Okay.
you. It'll
Let's go
show
there.
you, who's been their best
Okay.
player.
All right. I think the top 5, 6.
Well, here is the question. For example, Gautam Radhakrishnan is at number 12, right? Can you go a little more down? If you're saying that it is just going to be on ranking, for example, Arvind Sabresh doesn't even matter because he played only one game, so he's not even involved in this thing. Only people who have played 3 games can really count, right?
No, the reason I asked to go to ranking, it will also show how many matches they played rather than going to the squad.
Okay, so you basically have to pick out of 17 people, right?
I would say that, yeah.
Out of 17, you have to pick 12. So it's not too much of a headache for our friend Vicky, right? It's pretty straightforward. If the only question is, does Prabhu Chinnaswamy play, right? That's
I think Neil is
Ranjit
going to play.
Palaniswamy. What is that again?
I think Neil is going to take the cut. He's going to play. He has been phenomenal in
No,
Cup.
okay, you guys need to tell me who plays. Okay, Manoj, he
The
played.
top
Manoj
6.
Prabhakar, he
Yeah. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to 6, I think is a no-brainer. All right.
Okay, all right. So we got 6.
Then Prasanna Manikvel has to play according to me. All right. I'm going to keep
That makes
Hiten
it 7.
Motikana to the side for the time being because,
Okay.
Hiten Motikana has been getting 220 points from the bowling department, right? At this point, that's not that much of a big problem because you have Manoj and you have Saran and you have Vicky and then you have Arun himself and Priyesh. You have 5 bowlers. So you don't necessarily need, and Sudarshan, those 6 guys can bowl. So really, do you really need another bowler? Probably not. So that's why I said Prasanna Manikvel is that's why I skipped over Hiten and I went to Prasanna, that's number 7. Sanjay Langovan, well, he's your high price talent which you brought in. You're not taking him as a bowler, but you're taking him just for his batting abilities. And again, in the playoffs, I don't know if Sanjay Langovan suddenly decides to channel his Rahul Chenna type of energy. He could be the difference maker. So that would be 8, right? Prasanna
Yes.
Venkatesh is again absolute no-brainer for me. So that's number 9. Satish Mani has to play, that's for sure. He's your keeper and gives you good
10.
advantage on the left-hander. So that's 10. Gautam Radhakrishnan has to play. All right. So that's 11. Now
11.
that leaves you only one spot. And again, I feel Neil is the one who has to play. Simple as that. That's me. All right. If I had to pick the Pokeries 12, that would be my 12 Pokeries. KK, you have a different opinion?
My only concern is whom is Vicky going to play? Pick Gautam or Ranjit?
Mm.
I think it has to be Gautam. I mean, yeah, if you're looking at it from historically speaking, you probably have to pick Ranjit because of what he has done. But then remember, he has only played 3 games. The other guy has played 8 games for you, right? So at this point, it's yes, you were the ex-skipper and probably the architect behind, after Ravi Narala, behind Pokeries. But at this point, I think Ranjit himself will say that you should pick Gautam ahead of me. That's
Correct.
knowing Ranjit. That's probably what he would
Mhm.
say.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why they got Ranjit qualified was because in case they need him down,
Yes.
if there's any injury or unavailability. So I'm pretty sure I agree with you. I think Gautam should be playing, and Ranjit and others are basically backups in case they need down the road someone, or if there is a sudden unavailability on one of those other weekends.
So, so basically, picking the Pokeries 12 is not that much of a, I mean, nobody should
Yeah.
even give it. No, nobody should even give me a brownie or even a chocolate for doing that because that's pretty easy. I felt the
Yeah,
real
their
trouble
squad is
is
pretty
where
neat.
somebody needs to give me a dinner and take me for a dinner. It's trying to pick 12 from the Legends lineup. All right,
All
this
right,
is where the
let's
real.
try it. Let's try.
Yeah, let's try it. I mean, all
All
right.
right,
Legends need
let's
a
see.
keeper. No, I'll start with saying Legends need a keeper. So I don't think they're going to drop Sampath. He's in number 13.
Hmm.
Number either
All right,
Sampath or
so
Raghuram, one of those, 13 or 14. Because the guy who played at number 14 is the same guy who kept against Glads last year, and you would have seen the quality that he brought in.
all right, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so you guys agree, like, considering
The top
we
six are
just
going
got
to
the
play.
news, top 6 are going to play. We got confirmation Armar is there, so
Yeah, no.
let's.
Well, let me ask you: is number 5 going to play, KK? Because you're the one who is saying that he's not that fully committed. I honestly feel he has to play. It's a no-brainer for me.
He
But
has played
you
6
said
games,
that.
so he's going to play.
Okay, so because
My
last time you
my
said that
previous.
he was,
Mhm.
you said that
At
he's not fully invested into the season, and he plays whenever he feels like and things like that. Well, I do not know about he feels like. I mean, if I'm Praveen Arikatla, I'm going to his house and yanking him by the ear and making him play.
I don't think that is necessary. When it comes to playoffs, Srikanth has a different level of commitment. I played with him. Even
All
if
right.
the entire team is dull, he's the guy who brings up that energy. So I have no questions about that. But
Okay.
the league games, he has not taken it seriously. At least the way I have noticed it.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
All
okay.
right.
So, well, then I think I just got confirmation that Narne will be playing. So that means let's take that out of the equation. So top 6, I think we don't have any issues. I think we are all saying that this thing. Now, here is the
Mhm.
question: Sai Pratap Sakineni. What's your this thing? For me, he has to play. he gives you that extra option as a spinner. And yeah, I've been told that he's in two, so I'm getting I'm
So
getting live
Pratap,
update.
uh,
Huh?
I I cannot make a comment now, but if I when I was in Legends team, I
Yeah.
would push the captain to take Pratap any day.
Okay, well, so we are telling the same thing. I'm saying that, sitting 10,000 miles away, for me, if I have to pick, yeah, I would put him in there because he's a phenomenal batsman, as well as he can give you that extra option on the bowling this thing. But I've just got the confirmation that he's in two. So that means top seven are definitely
Seven.
playing. All right. Yeah, seven are playing. Well, I am very sure that Samit Nirma is not going to be dropped. So especially after the batting he put against Glatz. So he's probably going to be there. And Yash Vardhan has to play. That's, I mean, just looking at the quality of the batting, all right. I had not seen him play before, but I don't think he scored much against Glatz. But I think when I see a batsman bat, I can tell you, can he get the job done? Can he not get the job done? And if he didn't get the job done against Glatz, that's occasionally that does happen where a batsman doesn't perform all the time, So for me,
I,
those two guys have to play. I just skipped over Chaitanya. Well, that's
I want
because
to
I
say
still,
something here.
yeah,
I want to add something here. I want to make a comment about Samit. I'm very
okay,
surprised he missed a league game because last year he has played 12 out of 12 and his commitment is at a different level,
okay.
and he has played most of the games. I think he has performed in most of the games, at least got one or two boundaries there, got double digit scores. So, yeah, he has to play, in my opinion.
All right.
So
So
we
you
got
have to,
And yes, he's an import. So, uh, if it comes to picking one of these two, I would prefer Soumit.
one
so
of
we
which
have
two?
eight right now.
Which two
One
are you
of
saying?
Soumit or Soumit and Yash, if it
Amit
comes to
and
that.
Vardhan.
Oh,
Yeah.
between Saumit and Yash. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, personally, I rated Yash very high after seeing him back. I know he didn't score that much against us, but for me, he's a good cricketer. That's just me.
Mhm.
All right. But again, all right. So now comes the tough part, right? We have only three spots, and I'm assuming Hemant Naidu plays.
Yes, I think that should be the case.
Okay, so that becomes 10, right?
No,
Hmm.
we are nine, right? You got the first
No,
six,
No, 10,
no, no,
10.
seven,
no,
five.
10. No, no. First,
Nine out of the top 10.
out of the 10, I took out only Chaitanya Babli and added
Uh-huh.
who did we who did we add? Hemant Naidu. Hemant Naidu became number
Oh,
10,
okay.
right?
Okay.
KK is with
Right.
me on this one,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have 10, right? So now
Hmm.
we have two more players to pick, and you have
Mahendra.
Mahendra is there. Well, is he going to
We got
be in the? Is he going to be in the 12? Is the question. Then there is
in among
Yeah,
all the
go ahead.
firepower that we see at the top, be it Hemant Naidu, Amar, Soumit, Praveen himself, Harish, there is one guy who can stabilize that innings, that is Mahindra. Yes, I think he's like that Williamson in the New Zealand team that they built,
Okay.
or Joe Root in the England team. He has to stick to one end, and being a lefty is an advantage. They have to pick one of either Mahindra or Santosh based on my analysis. Because Santosh
But
Kadikundla
but
and
I
Mahindra
just
are the two
I just
lefties.
got I got okay, I just got some additional information that even though we are talking, Sai Pratap is in India, is what I've been told. And Mahendra is
Yeah.
playing the F40 finals. So we just got two spots created for us.
Sai
Created.
Pratap is
Okay.
in India.
That's what I would be, that's what I got. That's the text I got. All right. I don't want to tell you
Hmm.
the source, but I'm told that he's in India. And now, as I told you before, the information has been pretty accurate so far. So let's assume that let's give
I
the
met
benefit of what is that again? Just because you don't
I
know
met
doesn't mean that
Pratap
he's not in
on
India. Does he
I met
does he have to
Pratap
tell
on
you
Monday.
before you met him on Monday? Okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that he didn't go to India on Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, he is okay.
I'm just telling you what I told. What this thing, I'm telling you that source says Narne is playing. The source says Sai Pratap is in India. All right. Well, for me, if he was here, he was playing. All right. So if he didn't play against Gladys. All right. So I was surprised that he didn't play against Gladys. But then again, I said, it was a game which doesn't matter for either Glads or Legends. It was a free game. Both teams were in the playoffs, so both teams would have been in experimentation mode. So I would have said that, okay, maybe they just want to experiment other things.
Yeah, I got a confirmation. He just left today.
Okay, see, the source is very accurate, KK. Just because you saw him on Monday doesn't mean he didn't go.
No, I
All
also
right,
checked
so
the
who
other
do you?
group to see if he's playing the leather
Okay,
ball.
so now we are back to 8, Parthiv. So now we are back to 8,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you just took 2
9,
people
9.
out. How is it 9?
9, right? Hemant
I thought
Naidu.
we had.
took out
No,
Mahendra.
we took. If you add Mahendra, it's 9. Of course, at this point, Mahendra goes in without a doubt, right?
No. I think we are missing a point. In the top 10, now Chaitanya is not in and Pratap is not in. That leaves you with 8. And then you added Hemant Naidu, which is 9.
9.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
we
then
are
you're
9.
adding Mahendra, which is 10.
Yeah, Mahendra is not in, so we are still at 9.
Okay, let's add Mahendra in because at this point you have to add him in.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay, by the way, KK, I'm told I did not know this. The source says Pratap is KK's neighbor. That's why KK is so confused. Take that, Partha. Sai Pratap is KK's neighbor, and that's why KK is so confused. He doesn't know. He doesn't know when he got up whether he saw Sai Pratap or did not see Sai Pratap. Okay.
Good one. But again, coming back to keeper, right? One of Raghram Ganti or Sampath is going to play.
Okay.
That's
But
one.
here is another source. Another source says Mahendra is injured and he's carrying an injury. And so between F40 and DCL and things like that, he might be, and he has, I think, also a T20. So that means this man is in every conceivable tournament and he might be able to play only one game. So that's another twist to the plot, I guess. So I guess all right, well, at this point, I think Mahendra has to be taken out, right? Because if source is saying that he might play the F40 final, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think between
Mhm.
playing the F40 final and playing pre-quarter final, I think common sense tells me he'll go and play the F40 final. Do you guys disagree?
No, I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the
And he's
case,
more
then
committed to leather ball as well. So
also his game is more suited to leather ball than T-ball, if you ask me.
Mhm. Which
So-
leaves them with picking that one of the keepers, which will be number 10, and
So
Santosh
that-
Kadikuntla will make the cut.
Well, what about Chaitanya Bobley then?
See, in the game which Legends played against GLCC, Chaitanya was
Yeah.
there. He
Okay.
bowled 2 overs. He was not brought back in. And now you
Okay.
have Srikanth Narne into the playing 12. I
Okay.
do think Chaitanya is going to get a chance to bowl.
Yeah, but you still brought in. Don't you think then they should bring in Sham Kumar Kachetti or
That is, he'll be
Satish?
the 12.
Okay.
I mean, it should be Sham versus Satish.
Or what about that Sampath Mandala? I mean, you're saying that they don't need 2 keepers.
Yeah, Sampath versus Raghu.
Yeah, so you're saying only one of them makes the cut.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think Chetu is not going to play. Chaitanya is not going to play.
Okay.
But see, again, Satish has been in fantastic form in the Masters tournament. He has scored a 50
Okay.
recently, and he's been
So
scoring runs everywhere else.
yeah, but now the question at this point, KK, is will he bat? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
If he will Satish bat? If Satish is not going to bat, then you have to pick the best fielder out of the 12, whoever
Yeah,
gives you that
and
edge.
and I think he's one of the best outfielders out there. He has not dropped catches this year at all. He's
Okay.
taken some amazing catches. He worked a lot on fielding. So yeah, if you don't have an outfielder, and if it comes to really picking up the best fielder among the rest, then it should be Satish.
So you're saying it is between Satish and Sampath? That 12th spot?
No, Sampath is a keeper, right? It
But
is Sampath versus Raghu.
you just now told Raghu is going to be the keeper.
No, Raghu versus Sampath, right? Who is going to be picked? We do not know. If
No,
they
you
want a
just
bit
now
of
told
batting as well,
you just now told me that Raghu is the outstanding keeper, and
yes,
I think if I am not mistaken, didn't he play against Glads? Because I think he
yes,
took an
last
outstanding
year,
catch.
last year.
Not just last year, this year too. Can you click on Raghu's name, Parthu?
Yeah, sure.
I'm pretty sure that catch which he took of Hardeep Singh was an outstanding catch. Just want to make sure that I got the right keeper here. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
he played against Glads. That's what I'm saying. It was an outstanding catch. I wondered how he took the catch. So, anyway, the thing is that it requires lightning reflexes. So, if let's assume KK is right on this thing, but yeah, I just got confirmation that Raghu played both the games against Glads last year and this year.
Mm.
So that being the case, Raghu plays. So that is your 11th player, but the 12th player now becomes between Satish Kumar Belakumamakunda and Sampath Mandala. Your thoughts, KK? You think Belamakunda is the better player?
Yeah, I think Satish, if I have to pick one. Or if Sham, I don't know what Sham's form is.
I don't know either.
There goes the question. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If you
Well,
want a batsman, who can give you more boundaries at the very bottom, then Sham. If you need a bit of stability in the field and a long fielder, then it'll be Satish. I don't know how far they want to use him as a batsman. I mean, they've
at this point,
gotten so many batsmen from out.
At this point, if you're saying that those other 11 people are going to be batting, then I think you have then you probably need the best fielder at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we need to move on to the one
All
more
right.
game. So
Yes.
let's keep the discussion going.
Okay.
I'll go to the next game, which is the Bulls versus Thunderbolts. That's
All right.
the last playoff game. So yes, would love to know. I mean, I feel going into this game, Detroit Bulls have had a fabulous season. Thunderbolts, yes, they got in, but definitely looks like Bulls as the heavy favorites going into this game with both bat and ball. Unless Thunderbolts are able to, I don't know whether first of all, are they able to get the player back in Fahad Shah? I don't know if he's still going to be there. I mean, he'll make a difference with the ball, but that is still to be decided.
Which player are we talking about? Well, which player are you talking about, Parthiv?
The guy who stepped in last game, Fahad.
He's not even qualified.
Parthiv, how can he play if he's not even qualified, Parthiv?
Oh, he's only one game old. Okay.
Yeah, he played only one game. You think the Bulls are fools that they let him play?
No,
the moment he arrives, they will banish him back to Timbuktu.
All right, so that is not a factor at all. So that I think then heavy favorite Bulls looks like heavy favorites against Thunderbolts to begin with. They've had a fabulous season. Vatsal has been missing. I don't know where he's gone. Anybody has an info on why?
I have no idea. That's the $1 million question. What happened to Tanmay Zante? He has not played the last 4-5 games. KK, you haven't?
Tanmay went to India. My brother approached him for a different tournament.
Okay.
And Tanmay said he's going to India, and he should be back by now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think so. We do not know if he's back yet.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, there were a couple of weeks of break, right? I mean, the long weekend.
Well, he
and
hasn't
this
played.
week,
He hasn't played the
hopefully-
last 3 games. He didn't play against Glads. I know that, and
Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing him in that game. He didn't play that game. Then the game after that, he didn't play. I think the game before that also he didn't play. I don't think anybody can be
Yeah.
gone to India for like 6 weeks in a row or something like that, right? I mean, if they are, then
Yeah.
we all should be. All of you guys should be switching to that company. That's all I know,
Well,
right? Yeah.
hopefully, yeah. Hopefully he's back, and that definitely boost the Bulls. But Bulls, coming into the playoffs, I think that's where I feel the momentum has dipped a little bit. I mean, they lost against Glass, they lost against Dynamites. Yes, they won against local boys, but if they had won one of those 2 games, Dynamites and Gladiators, they would have felt much better. But again, just looking at the matchups, you guys think Thunderbolts even have a chance?
Yeah, anybody has a
There's
chance,
always a chance.
Partha. I
I know.
mean,
I
there's
mean,
always a
no, I'm not.
chance. I mean,
There's
the
always a
question,
chance, but how much of a chance would you give, like percentage wise? Is it 70-30 Bulls, 60-40 Bulls?
yeah, for me, it is probably 70-30 Bulls or even 75-25 Bulls. That's how because you're not going to have that 5 overs Fahad there, all right? Now you are expecting the others to get the job done. Is Mithilesh going to have the same kind of game in a playoff game against Bulls? I find that a little difficult to believe. I mean, yes, last game, those 2 guys, Umashankar and Mithilesh, bailed them out. At this point, Parthiv, I mean, the skipper has not really done the who is this? Thunderbolts any favors. He has really not produced anything the entire season. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I see it.
Yeah.
In fact, if I were picking 11 or 12, if I have 12 better spots, I think the skipper himself should step down and say that, you know what, there are 12 other guys who are performing better than me. So
Yeah,
I think,
it's a tough
yeah,
call.
but that's probably not going to happen. And he's probably going to still open the batting. But having said that, at this point, I'm saying 70 or 75%. I'm with Bulls. Bulls are pretty solid. So
Yep.
so they should be good. I mean, unless you want to pick the 12 for the Bulls, you want to do the Bulls management a favor. Because if they have to rest somebody, they can blame the Primetime gang and say, see, it's not us. Even the Primetime gang feels this way. All right. So we just made their life a lot easier.
I think if you look at I mean, am I sharing? No. Yes, I am sharing.
Yeah, you
If
are.
you look at the roster, I don't think it's a very difficult decision because I think they have only 16 qualified players. So
Okay.
it's not going to be that tough to select 12 amongst them.
Why don't you click on matches? Why don't you click on matches? It is going to order it.
Matches, yes. Yeah, I think by default, isn't it by matches?
No,
the
I think it
default
was
is
by a
points.
rank. Okay, ranking.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as you can see, it's even less than that. It's 15 actually. Or 16, yeah, I was right. 16 who have qualified. Yeah.
Well,
So
out
that
of
shouldn't
that,
be a problem actually.
I think out of that, number 16 and number 15 are not going to be an issue, right? So it's basically out of 14 is where you're to pick. And even that, I think it's pretty. Abhishek Card, what about it?
I don't think Abhishek Card will play. Chinmay Kulkarni won't play, so 2 more out.
Okay.
Which means you are down to what, 12? Out of 16, you already taken out 4.
Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they have
But
a
I
very
think,
lean squad as well.
yeah, I mean, they and Pokeries usually have a lean squad. So I think it's pretty straightforward for them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if everybody is available, then pretty much the 12 which we talked about. Now let's
look
look
at
at
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Mm.
All right. Thunderbolts have, oh, they have even, they too have quite a lean squad as well.
15 qualified. Scroll down,
No,
please.
15.
No, scroll down
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's arranged it by matches, KK, so it's only 15 qualified.
Wow.
Yeah, so you just have to pick 12, so that makes it pretty easy, right?
Once.
But
Yeah, 16, I think 16 qualified. My math is not wrong.
how are you getting
Again,
16?
I think the numbers are not arranged
Yeah,
in
15.
the.
Yeah, the numbers won't change. That's why I'm counting it manually. So maybe
Yeah.
15 only. I
Yeah,
don't have my
15.
glass.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
So out of the 15, you have to pick 3 people who should sit out, right?
Riaz Karim, Ashwin Sharma, two of them.
Yeah.
Is Avi recovered now?
Avi is still,
I know he was.
And probably Karthikeyan Swami, right?
or we do not know if Avinash is still injured or
Again,
is fit to play.
Avinash Raghu might be injured too, so we do not know. But because it's
The-
playoff, you never know. Avinash might push himself
He was
to
limping. No, he was
come and.
limping to walk.
Oh, he
He
was
was
limping to
struggling to
walk.
walk. I mean,
Okay.
it's been 3 weeks since I met him, but still.
Yeah, KK, you will be surprised how quickly people improve when the playoffs come around, and suddenly the limp might be gone. You know.
Yes, the classic case we remember of Arjun, right? Last time I saw him limping the other night, previous night, outside the physical therapy office, and then I was like, "Are you playing tomorrow?" And he said, "Yes, but don't tell anyone. Don't disclose it on the show." And I said, "Okay, it's a secret which saved me." But I knew he was playing, so
Yeah.
he got ready as well.
Yeah, I mean, but again, these are some players who will push themselves to any level. See, that's where you have a match winner. You bring in a player, he'll lay it all on the line. So whether Ravi is at that stage, we do not know. But I think I think the Thunderbolts have a pretty easy this thing. I think easy decision to make here. So. KK, your percentages on who's going to win between Thunderbolts versus Bulls?
No, I would agree with you. I was checking all Thunderbolts results.
Yeah.
They've given 2 shockers, one against Stars. Against Stars is not the same Stars. The other game against Knockers, which they won. Right?
Yeah.
All the other games, their batting has not been that great. And bowling has not been up to the mark. Indus chased them with 10 wickets to spare. FCC almost beat them, except for that no ball, which was not called. So I think Bulls are the heavy favorites in this game among all the 4 games. This is the game I can say it probably could be. There's more chance of it being one-sided.
Right.
So are you
Out of
saying
the
that the
4, I think
FCC season was decided by one no ball?
No, they're standing in Division 1 or 2. It was decided by that one no ball.
Okay, so that one no ball decided whether they stayed in Division 1 or ended up going to Division 2.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Am I sharing my screen for
yes, you
the
are.
group?
Yeah.
All right, blueprint. All right. Let's look at
Zoom out a little bit.
potential. Zoom out.
Maybe you
Okay.
want to zoom out a little bit because the bottommost section is gone. Yeah, now you're good.
Okay, perfect. All right, yeah. So obviously we know the schedule, we know the brackets, and we know the games that are happening. And it looks like I do feel the left side is definitely much tougher. It looks a harder fight as compared to the right. I mean, no offense to the teams there, Fighters, GLCC, and all those teams are really great, but it definitely feels the left side is, the Royal Rumble. There's like a lot more struggle and a lot harder road to get to the finals. Do you guys agree with that, or do you guys differ?
there are more international players and out of state players on the right side, Pardev.
That's the line. That's the line of the day, baby. That's the line of the day.
That
That's
is
the
a
line
good
of the
one.
day. Yeah, that's a really good one. Well, see, we never know what you'll get on a live show. So anyway, continue your thought. We disturbed your thought. It was a great thought, though. What happened?
Pardev, go ahead.
He
Are
froze
you,
up
are you talking
after.
to me?
No,
Are
I
you
was
talking to
talking
me or
about.
are you talking
I was talking to KK. I mean, he was in the
Okay, okay,
middle
go
of
ahead.
Oh,
that
okay.
thought.
Yes.
Okay. So there are more players out of the country, or there are international players on the right side. You see, look at Raptors. Bota is in India. Legends. Pratap is in India. Okay. Dynamites got what, 3, 4 imports from PSL, Hong Kong, everywhere. Right.
Those PSL Hong Kong
Mhm,
players will be playing. The only man who won't be playing is the international star Nauman Anwar.
mhm.
And the is there a higher attribute than an international star?
Now,
I want to
that's
I
true.
want to give it to our Vijay Shanmugam. He won't be playing too.
Okay, well,
Mhm,
Vijay Shanmugam is the captain, but he'll be captaining from outside. And I think a lot is going to depend on the form of Arun Selvaraj. But I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. I mean, I
mhm,
don't
See,
think I don't think Arun Selvaraj is Deepak Giriyappa.
mhm.
but again, if Raptors want to make it easy, then they have to go with momentum.
Okay.
Momentum, we do not consider it much in games, but in T-ball games, it changes within a span of 2 to 3 balls. So as long as Raptors can maintain that momentum, I've seen that these dynamite folks in the game which part of you umpired, right? You can
Yeah,
see that the body language of the team changes a lot because of the dynamics as well, right?
right.
There are international players, there are your players that have stuck to dynamites for a long time, and how the
Mhm,
frequency, how the how it all catches up to them, right, on that particular day is what matters.
right,
Say
right.
if your one of your import is leaking runs, and if someone says that, hey,
Mhm,
all this for this, you did all this for this
mhm,
guy, and then the
mhm.
team dynamics will change. But
Right.
that I cannot say the same with Raptors because they are a very closely knit unit. They are very similar to Pokeries. So no matter what
Mhm.
happens, you
You
drop a
think that
catch.
you think that way even after the import of several players from who's this Hitman? You feel that way? We didn't go over who will play for Raptors and who will play for Dynamites. I think we did it
No,
for all the other teams.
I umpired a game, Raptors
Okay,
versus Knockers. Close game.
Raptors was
They lost.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but they maintained the calm. There were bowlers sometimes, going all over the place. I think Kiran
Okay.
has brought in that calmness within the team.
I agree. I was just going to say the same thing. I think it's
Mhm.
the leadership. I think Kiran is a much more stable leader, and I think
Mhm.
he leads also a little by example, and also
And
very
Agreed.
stable. What is that again?
I, I have to also say this that both the Pradeeps are very instrumental to the team. It maintains that calm. Bota as
Uh,
well as Anjuru.
and they are also willing to adjust according to the circumstances. I think that's probably
Yes.
another thing which really
Mhm.
helps the Raptor team. So that's probably another reason why this has worked very well. But do you want to spend a moment, Parthu? I think we still have 10 more minutes, right? I mean, uh,
Yeah, yeah, but I have a couple of questions. On this draft. So, I wanted to, since you are here and Satya is listening as well, who would you prefer between Knockers and Titans?
I want to play Titans
Okay. That
because
because you
no,
know them well, or
no,
yeah.
I think Satya also wants to play Titans because I think Satya is a little mad at our friend Gabaji after the last game because and so yeah, I think he has some unfinished business with Gabaji. So I think
Mm,
he would want to play the Titans. That's but you should ask him the question directly. I mean, that's my
I
guess.
would. Satya,
Is
do you agree? He's there. He's listening.
Yeah, I'm here. So
who do you prefer, Satya, as a glad skipper? Do you prefer Titans or do you prefer Knockers?
it's playoff. Both teams are
Oh my
similar
God,
kind of teams.
another
Okay, that's a diplomatic answer.
what a politically correct answer. I mean, this is why you should never ask him any question. It's like
I'll
I mean,
say Titans because we know what they have instead of because Knockers I don't know what they're doing. So but Titans we already played. We know who they have, what they do, so we can play Titans.
okay. So well, at least you got the answer. Both of us would like to play Titans.
And then I'm guessing KRCC, I think, is a no-brainer. They would prefer Thunderbolts to take it easy. I mean,
Without a doubt, I think Yogi Bhai will be camped from the previous night and erected a tent at that ground to watch this game because he would like to definitely see Thunderbolts win that game because he probably is going to be reminded of was it last year where Bulls beat? Was it last year? Wasn't it last year where Bulls beat?
It was last year.
Last year.
Last year GLCC beat.
Oh yeah, last year GLCC beat put the
but I
kibosh
remember
on
one
it.
of that.
Yeah, it was two years ago against all odds. Bulls came and demolished KRCC, and Bulls bowling is the kind of bowling which can give KRCC problem because discipline bowling and KRCC generally has some problems with discipline bowling.
Good. All right, let me go to KK. KK, who would you prefer between Raptors and Dynamites? I know you praised Raptors a lot, but would you want them as your quarterfinalists?
See, you ask the glad skipper a question, you should ask the GLCC skipper a question, not me.
Since
Because my
we
thoughts
don't
would
have a
not
GLCC
matter.
But let's say you had to pick, let's say you were part of fantasy. Who would you rather pick?
Kaushik loves Dynamites. At least they need pace. So
Kaushik loves Dynamite. Okay.
I mean, Raptors without Botta and Dynamites, I would rank both the teams the same way at this point.
All right, let me ask you, who would you rather want to beat?
Whoever comes 160 on the board.
I mean, looking at this year's performance, I think that is how I have to look at it because, to be honest, our strength is batting. You can have 11 batsmen in the team. But on the bowling front, we cannot say the same thing. So still work to do. So I would say...
Let me ask you this question, KK. Are you going to be in the playing 12 or will you be gardening in the garden?
No, the gardening season is done.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Because we don't need any more. I don't think your house needs too many carrots and I don't know. All those other onions and potatoes and all that stuff, So I think the team needs you. The team needs you, and now the question is, will you be playing? And if you're playing, will you be going up the order? Is the other question,
Hey, I'm available for selection, so it's all up to the captain to pick it. So.
Okay, so Parthiv, you got the answer. Now the pressure is on the GLCC skipper to ensure that KK is in the lineup, right? Not just in the lineup, KK. Parthiv, there's no point in KK being in the lineup and not
exactly. I was just going to say if you play
against Glads, all right?
Right. If you select him, then you have to use him. It's like that.
Then using him as a fielder, that made no sense.
No.
By the way, KK, did you see that claim which Viju had? I think last show or the show before, he said he can beat you in a running race, running backwards.
Yeah, the last 5 yards, KK, I will run backwards. I will run backwards and I'll still beat you.
Parthiv, Viju can say
Yeah.
all that he want, but I can hit a six with a single hand. Let him use both his
Oh,
hands.
Oh, KK, did you forget the 6 I hit against FCC? That was with
That was
you
a
in the
four.
ground. No, no,
That
no, no,
was a
no.
four.
That was a 6, which was wrongly declared a 4. Okay?
All
On
right, you can
screen,
say
that was a
whatever
6.
you
oh,
want.
Okay.
It is a four.
I,
Go look up the
Yes, what are you
scorecard.
doing?
I have hit more 6s than 4s in DCL.
Like that's the case
I
with
can't say that.
99% of the DCL players. You have 11
That's
fielders.
true. It's very
You
hard.
have 11
It's very
fielders
hard
in
to hit a boundary.
35% of the ground.
But
No,
you
Parthiv,
know
let
the
me
guy
finish
who
this.
has never hit a 4 is Hariharan Dhanasekaran. For all the years he has played in DCL, he has hit 4s, but he has never hit a 6.
That's nice. But we have 11 fielders covering 35% of a circular ground. We play in a baseball ground, so it's very hard to hit fours.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not
But the grass.
disagreeing. All right.
Yeah.
So at least we know
Okay.
we all right. We at least we gave the GLCC skipper a little bit of a headache to think for 2 weeks. He's got at least another 10 days to figure his team
And
out.
Think about it.
we'll
Well,
we'll worry
yeah, we'll
next
select.
Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday we'll select GLCC 11 for based on the rankings and who's available and who's qualified as well. So
Because
we'll
there
do
is
that next
10 days, he has 20 game matches to play, so he will come only on Friday to pick this.
No. That
20
period is
games.
done, Satya. August, I think, between August 20th and the end of the month, in a span of 11 days, I played 17 games. So now
Oh
it's
my
all,
God.
still recovering from all that. Yeah. I think Satya also played almost the similar number of games. Which,
Man, if there is a game, you just automatically assume Satya is playing that game. If he's somewhere in that tournament, he'll definitely be playing.
but
Nice.
You want to know the interesting thing? I mean, that last game he was playing 2 finals at the same time.
Oh,
KK,
I know. Yeah, I was going to say.
can you
Yeah.
explain to KK? Can you explain to me how in the world is that possible? Okay,
So
Why
both the
not?
I
tournaments.
remember, KK, here is the
No,
thing.
no.
I remember texting that the skipper must have found some way in which he has managed this thing. He never misses a game which he can help. And you
All
know
right.
what? You know what? Shanawaz saved that message. I got an indication that he saved that message and kept it because I'm sure he's probably going to use it against Satya at some point of time later down the line. But anyway,
No, I'll tell you, right?
explain to us how this happened.
Both the
Are they
tournaments are
are both
conducted by FCC. Both are
both are
FCC
conducted?
tournaments,
Okay,
and both are in the adjacent grounds, DSP2 and DSP3.
okay,
It's very simple. And then, you can just inform the umpire saying that I'll be in the other ground and you can go there. But here is the problem. In Michigan Cup finals, we can only have 11 players. You don't have the luxury of the 12th player. Whereas in
okay,
the Masters tournament, you can have 12. All right.
okay,
So my 12th man, because Naresh is playing there as the primary batsman, we didn't want to risk him not being available for fielding. Right. We declared him as the 12th man who can field for 5 overs, as substitution. So Naresh was the 12th man for our team. So now we are done with 15 overs of the game in our bowling. Satya is done with his 4 overs. Then I call Naresh, who is the opponent of Satya in the other game in Masters tournament, to come and field here. Naresh comes to this
Oh
ground,
my
fields
God.
for the 5 overs. Satya goes in there, he bats there, right? And then
okay,
when we are batting, Satya continued bowling there. He completed his quota of 4 overs. Then came to this other final because we were 5 down. And I said, hey, go get Satya. If needed, we might have to bat. We still had 18
okay,
runs to get. So,
okay.
yeah. But, both finals,
That's crazy.
he has bowled 8 overs in a span of 1.5 hour. And kudos to that guy, his fitness and his commitment. That's all I can say. Been playing with him since 2017.
All I know, KK, is last year, if an official complaint had been filed after that semi-final game, this business would not have happened. I can give it to you in writing.
You can say
No, like
whatever. Again,
leave,
at
leave
that
me.
particular point,
See, Swarnaragul bowled 8 overs and also batted both the places.
Oh,
I know,
see, Swarna
and I don't
Rahul
know.
is one.
See,
What
this
Satya is
is
saying
the
is,
problem.
if that
This is
Swarna
the
Rahul
problem
is
with
one step
Satya.
ahead. What?
This is the problem with Satya. We're praising Satya and he goes on to say, hey, someone else is greater.
No, sir, well, he's making a valid point, right?
That's
Swarna
that's
Rahul
the truth,
batted
right?
and bowled in both places.
Swarna Rahul batted for 4 balls in the game against us and did not trouble the scorers.
That is that maybe his attention was disturbed playing in both games at the same time. That's not an easy task, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
But
but unbelievable.
again, about your comment, right, on me not batting in the Glads game. So don't give hard time to the poor guy. The captain sent Kaushik. Kaushik sent Hemant at the brink of 20th over, and Hemant is out on the last ball of the 25th over. You don't retire someone who is playing good and send me there,
Yeah.
right? The guys who has
No,
been
no, no,
playing
no.
for a few
I
balls.
don't. No, I think
uh,
the question was whether he should have used to up the order. At the opening stage, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if you know
I
that
mean,
this is this thing. I mean,
no,
again, in
Kaushik and
hindsight,
Brahma are set openers. No, for the team, Kaushik and Brahma are set openers. You asked me the same question last year. In playoffs, I went
okay.
opening because I did not have the second opener throughout the season. Kaushik was at one end, the other end was always open. This year, that's not the case. Brahma is the top scorer. He scored 180 plus runs. He's up there. And the other
Yeah,
opener is Kaushik.
you still can send you one down, two down, any of those two spots.
That's
That's
fine.
still
I
an
mean,
option, right?
we wanted to play the same order which we would have played in a playoff game, win that route. Okay.
Okay,
It went.
okay.
It was a close game. Probably, one catch here and there. Probably, if you bowled the right people, the results would have been different. Maybe your number one would have become number two, and you would have been more happier. But it's all said and done. You were better on that day. You won the game. So
Mhm. All right, let me finish up the last one segment, and I have a question. Actually, KK, what's up with Hitesh? Like, what is up
what's
with
up with?
him scoring 40s, 42, 40, Hitesh scoring 42, 46, 44? He could have easily had 4 half centuries if things would have been, 5, 6 balls here and there. Like, I don't know how is he not completing 50 every time, scoring like not outs, and he's being not outs. I think 3 of the 4 are not outs, 40s, high 40s.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Five of
That's
his last
crazy. I
six
mean,
innings are 40s, and you want to see
yeah.
50s, you'll get it in the playoffs.
All right. There you go. That's confidence.
Somehow I'm not that confident that 50s are going to happen in the playoffs. One, the bowling is going to be much better. Second, the pressure is also going to be much higher. So I'm ready to take that challenge. I think, yes, he has had a fabulous season. I think he has been Michael Bevan like in the regular season.
Yeah, crazy.
Whether 50s is going to work in the playoffs, that I am not so confident of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a 50, even if it's a 30, I think that in a playoff, it's a crucial knock. If you hit a
Yeah, but
30, anything.
whatever happens, they should not change Hitesh's spot. That's for sure.
Hmm.
They should keep
Absolutely. I
him where
don't
he
think
is.
anybody, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody would even dare to do that. All right. The last segment I had was the last one, the fighters. Who would they prefer? I mean, that's a very, very tough call. Legends versus Pokhris. Who were
Do
the
we have
fighters prefer?
they already played Pokeries once, didn't they?
Yes. Yes. And I
And
think
I think
fighters
they
won that.
and I think and they won that comfortably, if I'm not mistaken. Can you pull up that
Mhm.
game just out of curiosity? Fighters versus
Yeah.
Pokeries.
Yeah. Hold on. Somebody needs to really get this website cleaned up. Takes like 6 clicks to get. Fighters versus Pokemon. Okay, I got it. Let me share. Alright, here it is.
Yeah, see
Yeah, it
that
was a very
game.
comfortable victory.
Yes. And
It was Moon.
Moon and Mahesh Babu and Naveen. All right. 110 is a pretty good score there, right?
Yep. So yes, I think Pokri were, I mean, beaten, but depends on the day. I mean, Pokris can be, they have that
Fighters
reputation of
Moon
the.
is in India.
Oh, Fighters Moon is in
Oh,
India. Here we go again
but
with all these
no,
international stars and
but they have another 10 days. I mean, who knows? He might be back, right?
No. He just left.
Oh, he
oh,
just
he
left.
just left.
No. He
Okay.
did not just leave. He went out almost like 3 weeks ago. As of
No,
August 16th itself, he was not here. So it's been already 20
no,
days.
the previous game he played and went. So most probably 2-3 weeks. So, but he said he's taking more time there.
Yeah. I think he need to attend to something there based
Yeah.
on what I know. So
Okay.
he's going to
So
be.
no, pulling back that Fighters versus Pokris game. Uh, uh, Partha, who played for Pokris in that game? Can we take a look?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm,
So I think from R12, I
yeah,
think
two of them
Prasanna
will change. Prasanna Venkatesh will come in, right?
and Neil, I think I don't see
Yeah.
him there.
Yeah.
So
So my feeling is Pokris would be more better in this game. But having said that, I think fighters will still prefer Pokris because I think the Legends bowling probably gives fighters more trouble because they would see a similar kind of bowling like what they had against Raptors.
No, I think the other way around because remember fighters lost to Pokeris in one of the semis. I think 2 years back.
Yeah, I
yeah,
understand that. But that was 2023, right? That's probably
Yes,
when they lost to Pokris. That was in a playoff game. But
correct.
now, here is the question. It's the same thing, right? You played this team already and you beat them quite convincingly. Do you want to play against Legends team who's bowling when all their top five bowlers are bowling? It's we ranked them number 2 after KRCC in terms of bowling strength. Do you really want to take on Legends would be the question. And they probably would have seen a similar style against Raptors, isn't it? Raptors with their 5 bowlers. I mean, maybe in terms of speed. I mean, you
yeah, not
Kiran
in
didn't
terms of speed,
huh?
not in terms of speed, but
I
yeah,
mean,
they have a
no, I
pretty
mean,
decent.
I mean, I think the what is it? Legends bowlers are faster than the Raptor bowlers,
Mhm.
but still, what I'm saying is, I think they are more comparable than Pokris.
Mhm.
And you lost the game
That's
to Raptors, right? Of course,
Correct.
again, you have to understand that Kiran played out of his mind on that day. So,
mhm, mhm.
but again, I don't know.
It's a
Yep.
very tricky
I
question.
think
And
what is it?
Repeat that
Go ahead.
again.
no, it's a very tricky question to answer, even
No,
for
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think yeah, it's difficult to answer, but I'm pretty sure inside your heart. I mean, I'm sure all the 4 captains inside their heart, they know exactly who they want to play. So even though they might not say it, or they might not be totally ready to say confidently, but I think in their heart they probably have a favorite. It's like when you toss a coin, you know exactly what you want, even though it might be one. It's 50-50 chance. So all right. That basically is our playoff analysis. I think we've got the first round going this weekend, and then we get into the quarterfinals. That's where the top 8 teams start to watch ahead, and it gets even tougher to predict. And in the next week's analysis, I think it's going to be. I was hoping that we can call maybe few of the captains, or maybe a couple of captains, and maybe ask them some of the things. Uh, but that would be interesting to see, if some of the teams that are in there, if anybody has a analysis and can share their views as well. So,
So, Parthiv,
I,
I
yeah,
I want to make a point. I think I
yeah.
attended more number of shows than Gaba this year. So I
Yeah,
should be.
yeah. Actually, if Gaba wins this, we shouldn't even give him the award. I
No,
honestly think we need to have certain minimum number of shows that you attended before you can collect that $350 award, Parthiv. I mean, that is specifically given for people who are doing the work, right? If you
Mhm.
didn't show up, you didn't do any work. If you didn't do any work, you shouldn't eat. It's as simple as that. But you're
no.
getting the best of all worlds. I agree with KK on this one. 100% I agree
Mm,
with him.
Now there will be an interesting matchup if Titans get to quarterfinals. Then it will
mm.
be Glads versus Titans.
Yes.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that matchup. I mean, I don't know.
And also,
I don't know the result, but I'm salivating at that concept that, hey, we might get a chance to play them.
Yeah, the one thing I'm hoping that these playoffs, umpiring is going to be very crucial. So whoever is going for umpiring, I think it's going to have double the pressure. Has to keep
Oh, dear,
calm,
but
has
that
to make
reminds me,
sure that
have the empires been decided? Have they even done the
they were in the.
randomization? And
No, no, I think they were putting some deadlines, but I don't think
it
anybody's
is
really finished
Parthiv,
it.
it is Thursday today. You have only 2 days left.
So last I knew was, they were asking the captains to choose their two people they nominate, and then I don't know when they are going to randomize it, but I don't think that list is even complete. As they have all the captains selected, I can check what's the
Well,
status
no,
as of today.
not just that. You have to randomize, and then the skippers have to still have that
Yeah,
opportunity to say no, right? I mean,
oh yes, yes, I forgot that.
We,
Yeah,
we
you
so
can
don't
so
have
say.
you're
much
all,
option because Division 2 still teams are not confirmed, right? Like, so they are working on
Mhm.
something like
they,
there.
they'll have to get creative and do some sort of this thing, because again, at the end of the day, the top 4 teams in both divisions are not going to be affected, but I think the teams which are playing, they deserve that opportunity to have
So those, I
a
At
good
least
think.
fair
Division
umpiring.
1 they should randomize today and give one opportunity for
Yeah,
tomorrow.
only Detroit Bulls. I see in the list. Only Detroit Bulls are the ones that have not selected a single name. Everyone
Well,
else
then,
has at least put a name.
in that case, they probably. And in the past, I think there used to be strict these things that if you don't nominate, then you
Yeah, you
you
get
automatically are going to be somebody is going to be selected and assigned.
right. Well, that
so
process is still underway.
I
Yes.
think this time around, because of those Tuesday games, everything was pushed out, and maybe no one paid attention to this umpiring thing. Okay, but yeah, one other point I want to bring up that prediction and contest and Gaba by. See, everyone on this show except me is going to have a benefit because of that. Because now you will be much closer to winning the prize. Now Gaba is already 15, 14 points ahead, so you don't have a chance.
No, that's what we
Mhm.
are bringing this in we are suggesting that we should come up with this thing that, if you didn't attend even 50% of the shows, then you really probably should not be collecting any prize.
No, no, or deduct 20 points.
20 points. Yeah,
Yeah.
something creative, to make it more of a fair game. Because honestly speaking, Chetan is giving that amount for the people who are working hard, because none of us is getting paid for doing the show, right? We're doing it out of the interest of our own hearts. So it's only fair that the guys who are putting in the work should at least get some benefit out of it. So this was one way to keep the interest alive, kind of a thing. But yeah, I agree with what KK is saying. All right, can we see the predictions? Where are we? I mean, I know,
I don't think.
I know Gaba would have lost 1 point because he picked
No.
Legends to beat Glatz.
But I don't think we've submitted the predictions yet, right? Because I think we are waiting.
No,
No,
the prediction results. Huh? Oh, the results are
results
not
are
in.
there in the site.
Oh yeah, can we at least pull that one out? I mean, I didn't pick any prediction for this week.
No, I haven't
Is
either.
the opportunity to pick the predictions there?
It's
Okay.
there, but I didn't fill the second week. It's like say Division 2 games still.
Oh,
Like
okay.
not,
So
I just
yeah,
added team 1, team 2. So
okay. So we're still waiting for that.
Yeah.
So what's the standings say? I'm just
Oh,
curious
you know
whether
what happened in the other game? You know why that Division 2 game is still scheduled for Friday?
why?
Yeah, because of that same
Because
singles thing.
someone on the Punjab Scorpions team,
Uh-huh.
right? There are two players with the name Gurpreet Gill and Gurpreet Singh. So
Okay.
Gurpreet Singh only played 2 games before their last weekend game.
Okay.
But their captain selected Gurpreet Singh
Yeah.
instead of Gurpreet Gill when
Okay.
Gurpreet Gill was actually playing the game. So
Okay.
Avengers found it around 13 overs mark and said that, hey, they've willfully committed this and we don't want to continue playing. When the umpire forced them to play, they played under protest.
Okay.
So now the Punjab Scorpions captain mentioned that, hey, this was an honest mistake, right? And
I
then
mean, I
there
can
was a
see this
complaint
happening
lodged. They
because
played under protest. They rescheduled that game to
that's crazy,
yesterday.
man.
It rained out. They rescheduled the game to Friday now.
Okay.
But that is crazy. I mean, this can be a very plausible manual error because I know it's happened on our team as well. That we've got like at one point of time we've got 4 Rahuls on our team, and somebody had picked the wrong Rahul on that day, and we realized it like 4 or 5 overs after when we were giving like the scorer who the bowler was. That can easily happen. You pick the wrong Rahul or whatever, and in this case Gurpreet. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Using that for a rematch is crazy. I mean, that is just unbelievable. I mean, that's the thing I was mentioning at the start of the show. I hope this doesn't become like everything
Mm-hmm.
becomes a rematch just because somebody made an error, which is it's a
Mm-hmm.
technical glitch. It's not
Yeah,
like
now
I'm
here is the
playing.
problem. This is the last game of the season. And by the
Yeah,
time Avengers noticed it, this other Gurpreet, who was playing in the name of Singh, Gill, who is playing in the name of Singh, already scored 24 runs. So that's the problem. If he has not made any contribution, Avengers would have said, hey, no, because I spoke to Gautam. Gautam told me, this is what happened. What should I do? I asked him, what did you do? He said, I logged a complaint. Yeah, then we have to wait for it to happen because after what happened in the Stingers versus Indus game, I think committee has also taken a back step and said, hey, you know what? We'll go with a rematch.
I don't want to do another investigation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Parthiv, in this case, I think, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here. I think you need to go back to the old school system, Parthiv. Captains should exchange the playing 12 team declaration sheet to each other before the game starts. Sometimes by doing that, you can avoid a lot of controversies later. And so you have the
Yeah.
other team's team declaration sheet. Now, when you
It's
write
already
that,
there in. So
I
you're
know, but
right. So
when you are writing it down, you won't make that mistake, right? Here you are
correct.
saying that, oh, I accidentally picked Gurpreet Singh instead of Gurpreet Gill. Well, when you write down Gurpreet Singh instead of Gurpreet Gill, that is a deliberate mistake, right? Not an accidental mistake. It's a deliberate job. So I'm just saying, if you want to get around it, still have the team declaration sheet, exchange the team declaration sheet, and the other team can get to keep it. And then if you wrote Gurpreet Gill and played Gurpreet Singh, well, then that's deliberate fraud. And the moment it is deliberate fraud, you don't get a single point. The opponent gets the full 5 points. Also, the net run rate and everything. And also, I think you end up getting fined too for perpetuating a fraud. But at this point, if you're saying, oh, I'm mispicking the wrong player, well, yeah, I mean, I can see a mistake happening. But at the same time, I think the way to get around it is to just manually exchange a team declaration sheet. And that's the end of the discussion.
Yep. Yeah,
that is exactly why I was very careful with my words. I said, this is what was being told.
Yeah.
We do not know if it's an honest mistake or a deliberate act. At this point, committee has decided rematch. So it's a rematch. But there was another question in the captain's group half an hour back. What if it rains tomorrow?
Oh, that's a good question. Then they might have to move the playoffs back for just Division 2. Or play on Saturday and then have Division 2 games on Sunday.
But this game impacts the playoffs?
I do think so, because Scorpions are in the hunt, right? Even Avengers are in the hunt of the playoffs, right? Scorpions,
Avengers
I think,
win, they are through.
Avengers
win, they are through. Avengers lose, they are out. Avengers have the game split, they are out because the other team has higher wins. The only way they can go through is through a win.
So they have to play.
And considering that they almost scored that huge mammoth total against Scorpions, should give them a lot of confidence going into this game.
All right. At least tomorrow it doesn't look like it's going to rain, so hopefully the game should be done.
How about the weekend?
The weekend is also dry, but on the cooler side. So Saturday, the high is 65.
Okay.
So I think in the morning you can expect. And that's why I think there's a 10 a.m. start instead of a 9 a.m. start. So mornings you can expect a little cooler. But next Saturday, there's good news for you, Viju and KK. It's 76 or high, so it's nice. Nice sunny day.
So you're saying that it's good to have a bye this weekend?
Yes, I mean, it's a good to have a bye. I mean, it's bad for the umpires. I mean, just to stand there, the umpires having a cold day is really bad. I mean, players can still, because it's 60. I think you run around and you're okay. But the players, umpire, poor guys have to stand in this cold. Anyways, all right. So let's end the show. I know we have quite a bit of talking to do next week. So let's hope our analysts join us. I hope Gabaji joins us, and we have another great discussion to pick our winners for the quarterfinals and also talk about potential semifinals as well. So until then, good night, guys. See you next week.
All right. Thank you, KK. See you, Satya.